In September 2024, when Hurricane Helene hit the United States, I, all the way up in Ohio, ended up losing power for over 5+ days, and I regrettably was not prepared. And this was one of the most stressful things I've ever encountered. Typically, I've lost power before, but I've never lost it for such a long period of time. And so after those 5+ days of having no power, everything in my deep freezer I had to throw away, which included a lot. It actually included hundreds of dollars worth of gluten-free food that I had stockpiled over the years, and I just lost a lot. Now I'm so grateful that I didn't lose, like some families, my entire home, and that all I lost was hundreds of dollars worth of gluten-free food. However, I will say that wasn't the most stressful part. The most stressful part was trying to keep myself fed during those 5+ days of having no power and having to dine out for a lot of those meals, which is already really exhausting, but was even more cumbersome and overwhelming to do during an emergency period. And then if I was eating at home, trying to figure out how I could assemble and have meals ready. I wasn't used to cooking without having access to power, without having access to heating methods. And I also didn't have a pantry stocked full of food that was going to allow me to eat without having to prepare foods and use water. Because in my situation, I live on a well and I didn't have any running water to use because I had no power, which meant I couldn't access the water from my well. So this all inspired me to create a shelf-stable 5-day emergency meal plan because I never want to have to go through that again. So this is a 5-day shelf-stable gluten-free meal plan that I'm creating that requires no cooking, no heat, is oat-free, gluten-free, and is basically just assembly-based so that if I'm ever in a emergency situation, I can't stop myself from losing all of those hundreds of dollars worth of gluten-free food, but I can make sure that I do have gluten-free food ready for me to eat that doesn't require refrigeration, that doesn't require cooking or heating, and that I can enjoy that isn't cold soup, isn't a handful of granola bars or a bunch of protein shakes, because all of that makes me want to cry. I don't know about you, but I don't want to eat cold soup. I don't want to chug protein shakes, and I don't want to survive off of granola bars for over 5 days. So I created a 5-day gluten-free shelf-stable meal plan for people with celiac disease who want actual meals and want to feel as satisfied and want to feel the least restricted as possible during these emergency situations. They want to have peace of mind when they're going to sleep at night that they've got a plan in case anything happens, in case they need to shelter in place, in case they're hit by a storm, in case it's an emergency situation, they've got their food covered. I created this 5-day shelf-stable meal plan and it is now available. I'll leave a link down below in the description box for you to grab it. And again, I can't stop you from losing the hundreds of dollars of gluten-free food that you've probably got stockpiled yourself in your own freezer, but I can make sure that you've got gluten-free food available in those emergency situations so you're not going hungry and you're not having to dine out and have that pile on to the stress of being in those emergency situations. So if you want that meal plan, it's oat-free. It requires no heat, no cooking if you don't have access to cooking methods in emergency situations, and it has vegan-friendly options, and everything in the meal plan should be available in general grocery stores. So you don't have to go to any specialty stores in order to get the ingredients required for this meal plan. If you're interested, again, it's linked down below in the description box. And I would love to know, have you ever experienced anything like this? Are you someone who is prepared for these kinds of emergency situations? If so, I'd love to hear your experience and I'd love to hear what you've done in the past. And again, that meal plan is linked down below. This is the exact meal plan that I'm using for myself for future emergency situations. This has taken me months to create to make sure that it prioritizes fiber and protein so people are feeling full while also prioritizing satisfaction so you're not feeling deprived and you're not having to rely on, again, cold soup, protein shakes, meal replacement shakes, and or protein bars, granola bars. So if you're interested, again, linked in the description box. My name is Taylor, fellow celiac of 10+ years and celiac specialized dietitian, and I will see you when I see you.